On June 1st, Ukraine's security service launched Operation Spiderweb, a covert drone assault that shattered Russia's assumptions of strategic depth. This wasn't a border raid. It was a synchronized, multi-theater strike targeting 5 major Russian air bases, some located thousands of kilometers from Ukrainian territory. The targets included Belaya Air Base in Irkutsk Oblast, over 4,300 kilometers from Ukraine, Olenya in Murmansk, 2,000 kilometers away, Ivanovo-Severny, 800 kilometers out, Diaghilevo near Ryazan, 520 kilometers from the border, and Ukraininka in Amur Oblast, nearly 8,000 kilometers from Kyiv. These bases housed Russia's long-range strategic bombers, Tu-95, Tu-22, and A-50 radar aircraft, platforms critical to missile strikes and airborne early warning. The operation was unprecedented in scale and ingenuity. Over 117 drones were deployed, but they weren't launched from Ukraine. Instead, they were smuggled into Russia in pieces, assembled inside mobile cabins disguised as prefabricated homes, and launched from deep within Russian territory. Each cabin roof opened remotely, releasing FPV kamikaze drones guided by Ardu pilot software and SIM-based control systems. These drones bypassed GPS jamming entirely, relying on dead reckoning and pre-programmed flight paths. The strikes were timed to hit simultaneously across 5 time zones. Each drone was assigned a specific aircraft target, and the pilots, operating remotely, executed precision strikes with cinematic clarity. One of the most dramatic moments captured shows a Ukrainian drone approaching a Russian SU-22 bomber parked on a remote airbase. The drone maneuvers low over the tarmac, locks onto the fuselage, and detonates on impact. Aftermath footage reveals twisted wreckage, scorched concrete, and debris scattered across the blast radius. Damage from the Ukrainian attack was staggering. According to analysts and satellite imagery, 41 aircraft were hit, 13 confirmed destroyed, 8 Tu-95 bombers destroyed, 2 damaged, 4 Tu-22 bombers destroyed, 3 damaged, 2 A-50 radar aircraft damaged or decoyed, 1 refueling jet destroyed, 1, and 12 transport destroyed. Estimated cost of damage, over $7 billion. Russia scrambled to respond. Bombers were relocated from Olenya and Belaya. Shelters were hastily constructed at Engels, Sevastopol, and Gvardiskoye. Decoy aircraft were deployed, some inflatable, others painted directly onto runways. But the message was clear: no airbase is safe. Ukraine had demonstrated asymmetric reach, using low-cost drones to destroy high-value strategic assets. President Zelensky called it a real demilitarization of the Russian Federation. The implications go far beyond Ukraine. Operations like Spiderweb represent a tectonic shift in global strategic positioning. What happened in Ryazan or Irkutsk could just as easily happen in California, Guangdong, or Ramstein. The vulnerability isn't geographic, it's structural. Modern airbases house assets of staggering strategic value. Stealth bombers, airborne radar platforms, refueling infrastructure, and hardened command centers. These aren't just expensive, they're irreplaceable. A single B-2 Spirit bomber costs over $2 billion and takes years to rebuild. The same applies to Russia's Tu-160 fleet, China's H-20 program, and NATO's AWACS systems. And yet these platforms sit exposed, often parked in open tarmac, protected by little more than perimeter fencing and legacy radar. Spiderweb proved that low-cost drones, launched from inside a country's own borders, can bypass traditional defenses and deliver precision strikes with cinematic clarity. This isn't just a Ukrainian in. The operation was planned over 18 months, personally overseen by Zelensky and SBU Chief Vasyl Malyuk. According to multiple sources, the United States was not informed in advance. The drones were launched by remote pilots, each assigned to a specific aircraft, with no improvisation and no margin for error. Operation Spiderweb wasn't just a strike, it was a doctrine shift. Strategic depth is obsolete. Rear areas are now war zones. And the battlefield is everywhere. Won't be the last. Operation Spiderweb wasn't a one-off. It was a proof of concept. Ukraine has shown it can coordinate deep strikes across multiple time zones, bypass layered defenses, and cripple strategic infrastructure with minimal cost. Expect more. More coordination, more reach, more disruption. Because when asymmetric warfare works this well, it doesn't get shelved, it gets scaled. Modern airbases house assets of staggering strategic value. These platforms sit exposed, often parked in open tarmac, protected by little more than perimeter fencing and legacy radar. Spiderweb proved that low-cost drones launched from inside a country's own border